lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup Misfit. So I'm going through the products that I've put off to the side all year round that I'm going to declutter for this year. So I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but I found out that there's a place in town that you can donate everything and anything to, including makeup, and then they'll sort through it, and then whatever they find appropriate, they will actually give to one of the women's shelters here. So I think that's awesome. So I'm gonna do that. So I do have a couple of these little tart boxes with stuff in them. So let's just get into it. So the very first thing is this Urban Decay eyeshadow. This is in the shade Pistol, but it's just a dark gray, which is not my shade, not my thing, never used it, so that's gonna go. This is by Milani in Bella Navy. It is very pretty blue, but blues are so far out of my comfort zone. So this one's gonna go as well. I have not used it. I actually have this hair chalk that I got for Christmas a few years back, maybe like 3 or 4 Christmases ago already, and it's still wrapped up in the plastic. I think this is so cool, but I've just never reached for it, and I feel bad because it was one of my brothers and his girlfriend who got it for me at the time, and it was like, I feel like I should use it, but I'm just like, never have. So I think instead of holding on to it and feeling guilty about it, I'm just going to pass it along. I do have this Pure Iconic Glow Illuminating Face and Body Dry Oil. I've never used this. It's still in the packaging. I think it was a Fit Fab Fun box I subscribed to once, and then I canceled it, and this came in there. But it's just not for me, so I'm going to get rid of that one. This, so I was just kind of going through this. It's a lipstick kit from Bite Beauty, and I think the only one that still looked okay was this one right here. This is the shade Pepper, and I actually really like the color of it too, so I think I'm gonna hold on to this one, but the rest of them, I don't even know if I should, but the rest of them I'm going to get rid of because they don't look good whatsoever. So these ones I'm actually just going to toss out. Like, I'm not even going to put them in that box. These, where did I put these are just going to go. I probably should get rid of this one too because I don't know what they smelled like before, but I'm going to try it once and then maybe get rid of it after. So that one I'll hold on to, but the rest of these I'm going to toss. I do have these 2 highlighters by Becca. I don't use like liquid or cream highlighters or anything like that. Not really my thing. So these are both going to go. This one is Moonstone. This one is Opal. I do have another matte gray single by L'Oreal. She's going to go. And I have this Revolution palette. Now, I bought this because I had purchased, I think it was the first Flawless one, and then I saw that this was a bestseller, so I figured why not, because I didn't mind the other one. But this is just, I think I may have used it only maybe a handful of times. I've had this for what feels like forever, and it's not something that I'm ever going to reach into, so I'm going to get rid of that one. So that's the first box of stuff. So let's move on to the next one, which should just be all eyeshadow palettes. So I do have, so this palette is by C Color Cosmetics, and they are like a dupe company. So this is a dupe for the Natasha Gold palette, which I do not have, and I purchased this because of that. The shades seem to be, like when I swatched them all out, they seem to be super nice, but I don't need this. They are one of like the cheaper dupe brands, so it really didn't cost me very much at all, so I feel okay getting rid of it, but I don't need it. I have so many neutral colors, I have gold colors, and even if it is close to the same, I was never super interested in the gold palette by Natasha Denona anyways, so this is going to go. Another palette that I was debating over a couple of times is this BH Color Festival palette. So this is what she's looking like. I've used this only a couple of times, but over here and here, it got onto the packaging. It was super hard to clean up. I didn't mind this one either, but I just know that I would never really reach for it as much as I thought I was going to. So this is going to get decluttered. And then I have a bunch in here that I did a little reel on my Instagram account. So if you saw that, then you will see these again. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, the Finger Foils palette. So this one, I've hit pan on here. These two are just glitters. I really did like this shade, but I never reached for these two. This one's a little bit too dark for me. And then the burgundy I just never ever touched. So this one, it's been around for a while, so I think it's time to go. I have this Marc Jacobs palette that I never reached for. I'm not quite sure why I bought it. I thought I would use it, but all of these colors, they're super pretty, but they're just a little bit too deep for me. I thought maybe for Christmas time with, you know, these shades right here and maybe the brown, but it's just not something that I want to reach for. And I do have the one Marc Jacobs palette that I'm okay with having just one of. This is by ABH, and this is the Alyssa Edwards collab. So I purchased that at Winners, so I got it like, there goes the brush. I got it at a discount, which was super nice, but I only used this like once, well, more than once, but I think this was my 1 month one palette or something along those lines at the beginning of this year. So I think the shade that I really reached for was the yellow a bit, and then these 4 shades here. But the rest of these, I have these shades over again. I have this palette in different varieties, so whoa. So this one I'm just going to pass along. Next, I have these two, which are still wrapped in the plastic, and these are the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzers. So these are just little trial sizes, and if you were, you know, watching my bronzer progress over on my Instagram page, you would see the progress, the journey, the adventure that I had with these two. Well, with this, I had a third one, which was the original one I had, and then I somehow wound up with 2 more. But I just know I'm never going to get around to using these, and by the time I do and completely finish it, it's going to be like 10 years from now, so I'm just going to pass them along while they're still packaged up. This Stila palette, now I really did enjoy this when I first bought it. This is the Eyes Are the Window shadow palette, and this is in the Soul version. This is still really pretty, but I just feel like I have these shades so many times over again, and it's not a palette that I really would ever want to reach for much anymore. So I really did like this shimmer shade. There's a little bit of usage on there. That one I really enjoyed, but I can find these shades so many times over, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I have another C Color Cosmetics. This is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Corals Obsession palette. So this is Obsessed 5. I actually like these shadows. So just like that first palette I showed you, the golden one, the shadows are really nice. And I really enjoyed the looks that I got out of this palette, but I'm okay with not reaching for this anymore, so that's going. I have this Kevyn Aucoin palette, and I think it's just time for it to go. It's not something that I reach for. I thought I would, because most of the color stories that end up at Winners are ones that I won't really want to use too much, so I thought that I would really enjoy this one, but I've only used it a couple of times, so that one's gonna go. And then my Morphe Oh Boy palette. So this one, again, so many of the same shades, so close together. When I bought this one and the Boss Mood palette together, it was like a discounted price or something along those lines. They had a bundle deal, so I picked up the both of them because I did want both of them. Not sure why. I'm pretty sure this was like the only shade I reached for when I first got this, and then maybe a couple of others later on, but I don't need this many of the same, oh no, sorry, it was this shade right here. I don't need this many of the same shades. They are pretty, but I'm not gonna ever reach for it. I haven't reached for it for a long time, so this is gonna go as well. And then I just have my brush that comes in that ABH palette that fell out. So that seems to be, oh, actually, I do have something else. So in here are a few singles. There's 9 singles in here that I'm going to get rid of. I was debating getting rid of my singles because I do want to start using them, but I am keeping quite a few still. So if you saw any of my makeup collection videos, the eyeshadow palettes video, I showed my singles in the beginning of that. So you'll see the ones that I'm keeping, and then these ones are the ones that I'm going to get rid of. So like 90% of this is all ABH. This one is Urban Decay. This one is Mary Kay. This one is Urban Decay, and the rest of these are ABH. So I'm getting rid of Dusty Rose because my Soft Glam palette had it in there, and I'm still working away at it. Plus I have a few other shades that are similar to that in tone, and I don't need a full size single of it on top of all of that. And then the rest of these I just haven't reached for, probably won't ever. I bought them all at Winners, so they were like $4 or $5, so I didn't really feel too bad, especially because I didn't really have any at first. So I was excited when I found them there, and I wanted to purchase a few of them, but I just don't ever reach for them. So plus they're all shimmers or satins, or it really isn't any mattes in here except for that Dusty Rose shade. But like I said, I don't need that one. So there is no point in me keeping all of these shades when I would much rather have mattes over this. So this little ColourPop magnetic palette is going to go along with them. So I'm going to be down one magnetic palette as well, but that's okay because that's kind of what my plan originally was. I purchased a few so that I could separate my singles and do whatever with them, but I did want to eventually narrow it down so I wasn't holding on to so many magnetic palettes either. So one magnetic palette down along with 9 singles. So I'm actually excited and content and happy about what I'm getting rid of. Obviously there's other stuff that, you know, I've been kind of hemming and hawing about. I'm on edge, but like I said in my makeup collection videos, I'm gonna hold on to them and see what happens next year. And if I'm still feeling the same way and I really don't seem to reach for them at all, then they will end up in my 22 declutter. But for now, this is what I'm ending up with. So I haven't counted anything, but I will put the number up of the products that I'm getting rid of just so you guys can see if you're interested. And yeah, that's everything. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I'll see you guys all later. Bye.